Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, new video of a major theft at a Palacios hardware store. Another delay in the murder trial of Fernando Acosta Jr. in Matagorda County. And 2 suspects are arrested after a state investigation into a Bay City nursing home.
Well, the cloud deck is back in. We'll have more fog, but by tomorrow morning, a big north wind is going to blow through here and actually cool us down. How cool will it get? We'll talk about that coming up in a moment.
And it's Victoria East versus Victoria West out on the soccer pitch, and it's regional quarter round for boys hoops. I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia has the night off. A change of plans in the murder trial date for Fernando Acosta Jr. in the case involving the death of Amanda Johnson. March 21st will be the trial management hearing. A pretrial hearing has not been set. The murder trial is now set to start on May 13th, but that changed. More is likely to be known after the trial management hearing. Acosta is accused in the murder of Amanda Johnson. He is charged with tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse and murder. We have new video on a major theft that took place Monday afternoon in Palacios. It happened at Porter's Ace Hardware at 710 Main Street around 3:30 p.m. The owner of the store says the women got away with $1,800 worth of tools. He says the women were in and out within 3 minutes. The women drove away in a white SUV or van. If you can help, call the Palacios Police Department at 361-972-3112. A 28-year-old Victoria man was taken into custody by Victoria County deputies. Damon Davila was arrested on a bond forfeiture on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $50,000 bond. A 53-year-old Laredo man is in custody in Victoria County. Cesar Maldonado was sentenced to 2 years in state prison for human smuggling. Maldonado remains in custody in Victoria until he is transferred to prison. 2 suspects were arrested after a state investigation into a Bay City nursing home. The Bay City Tribune reports the administrator and abuse coordinator of Colonial Living and Rehabilitation of Bay City, 37-year-old Cassidy Jones of Katy, was charged with tampering of a government record. 47-year-old Michael McLeod, a former resident of the facility, was charged with injury to the elderly or disabled and aggravated sexual assault of an elderly or disabled person. McCord is in the Matagorda County Jail in lieu of $100,000 bond. Jones is in jail in lieu of $30,000 bond. In Uvalde, a guardian of a Robb Elementary shooting victim was removed during a public hearing Monday. Brett Cross was arrested after he became agitated and started to use profanity during a heated exchange with city leaders. Since the deadly mass shooting in 2022, Cross, along with other relatives of shooting victims, regularly show up to the meetings. The group attends in order to confront the current county commissioner, who was the acting police chief on the day of the shooting. Authorities said Cross was arrested on a Class B misdemeanor for disrupting a meeting. He was released on bond. A mother inspired her daughter to give 50 gallons of blood in Victoria. Now her grandson gives blood as well. 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick spoke with the family about the joy of giving. Adarius?
The family does not like the word hero, but they've saved more than 1,000 lives by donating blood.
I think it's just part of being a member of a community is in whatever way you can enrich the community, it's your responsibility. And one of those ways for me is blood donation.
Carol Talley started donating blood on her 17th birthday. Her biggest inspiration for giving all these years was her mother.
It's what you do that people react to because they see the earnestness and the sincerity of it. You're not just a bag of wind telling them to do this. You actually pursue what you say.
Georgia was diagnosed with cancer in 1993. At the time, she could not donate, so Carol felt like she had to give even more blood.
I think I felt the need to donate even more intensely because I felt like I had to take her place.
Georgia says receiving help made her realize the importance of giving as well.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, was the first experience that brought it home to me. But you see the benefit that the other giver is giving to you.
Since then, Carol's 50 gallons of blood have helped about 1,200 people. She's also inspired her son to join in on the life-saving effort.
It started out with my mom doing it, and then I was going for the red cord for graduation. That's what kind of helped keep me coming back.
Weston's red cord came from donating a gallon of blood during his last 2 years of high school. The family left this advice to the community.
Just donate. It really helps, and you will save a life, and you will feel good about yourself.
Carol Talley hit 50 gallons recently. Now she's working toward 75 gallons, and her son says he'll be right by her side. Don, back to you.
Darius, thank you. Tuesday, crews battled 4 different wildfires across the Texas Panhandle. Strong winds in the area stoked the fires, making it difficult for firefighters to extinguish them. So far, the fires have burned about 65,000 acres across 7 counties. There have been no reported injuries or lost structures. Authorities have not yet ordered evacuations. It is unclear what caused the fire, and a disaster declaration has been put out for the Panhandle by Governor Greg Abbott. Now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Mac, how worried should we be in the Crossroads about having fires start? Because right now it is dry and it is windy.
Well, it is a concern. Right now, it's not going to be as bad as it is in Amarillo right now. They just had a 58-mile-an-hour wind gust, so you can imagine how hard fighting a fire in that's where the frontal system is. But the good news is that when it gets down to our area, it's not going to be as strong, and it is going to cool us down a little bit. That's the one thing that sort of helps. We, of course, had those high temperatures yesterday. All of that will be dropping by 30 degrees as the north wind kicks in, and we'll tell you how cool it's going to get coming up in just a moment. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. Through Monday, 5.1% of Victoria County registered voters have voted early in the March 5th primary election. KXAN has the early voting percentages for every Texas county. Calhoun County is at 7.8%. DeWitt County is at 8.1%. Lavaca County is tied for the highest early voting percentage, and the Crossroads at 9.3%. Goliad County also has a 9.3% early voting percentage. Jackson County has the lowest early voting percentage in the Crossroads at 4.9%. Early voting, the primary election continues through Friday. You can vote from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. all days. You can vote at the Dr. Patty Dodson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro. A Houston area school district is getting rid of its library leaders in order to address a $36 million budget shortage. And some residents are having trouble keeping their voices down.
Obviously, it's devastating news to her.
Cody Dolan's wife has worked as a librarian in Spring Branch ISD for 9 years. He notes the work she does goes beyond books.
She has a robotics club in her library. She has a video game creating club in her library. She has something every day before or after school that kids can go to. Because libraries are really the hearts of schools.
The school district saying it won't have librarians starting next school year. Hard for parents like Morgan Pareja to imagine.
Our teacher librarians currently are able to reach every student on campus.
Instead, Spring Branch ISD says libraries will be supported as media centers with district-level media specialists. A media center assistant will handle day-to-day library operations, a spokesperson said. The district's job posting says media assistants need 48 college hours or a high school diploma. Dolan's wife earned a master's degree.
For the district to act like it's a one-to-one replacement, that's fantasy land as far as I can tell.
The district says the decision was made in part to address a $35 million budget shortfall. Dolan's wife not worried about her job, but the kids losing an essential part of their education.
What is that going to do to them? What is that going to do to their development? What is that going to do to their lifelong passion for reading that she hopes to develop? So the district is going to lose some really passionate employees who have made a difference in the lives of students.
Other cuts made in the past few months include closing elementary and middle school counseling and some pre-K programs. Officials at the district say they are helping affected employees find other roles. The number of stray dogs continues to increase within the city of Victoria. That means more animals at the Victoria Animal Care Shelter. Mark Sloat, director of the shelter, says from 2014 to the end of last year, the shelter took in over 15,000 dogs and had to euthanize over 7,700 dogs. Sloat recommends you keep your dog inside your fenced yard, inside your home, or on a proper leash.
To a dog, children playing, another dog running by, somebody on a bicycle, maybe a car, those are all distractions that can draw the dog away from your house. Plus, an animal that's not neutered or spayed, they have that drive to reproduce, and that can make them wander in their own, just because of that.
Remember, it's against the law in the city of Victoria to have your dog running loose away from your home. It's always best to have your dog spayed or neutered. Victoria ISD announced Tuesday it is reinforcing its guidelines on electronic devices ahead of spring break. Schools across the nation are continuing to deal with cell phone usage issues in classrooms. For your viewer poll, we want to know, should schools put in stricter policies to limit smartphone usage during class time, yes or no? This is an overwhelming vote. 97% of the voters say yes. Put those cell phones down. We want your opinion, and thanks for voting, and come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and I will have an update on 25 News now at 10. Wednesday, Crestwood Drive will close between Navarro Street and Main Street from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. for paving operations. All businesses and homes in the construction zone will remain accessible. The construction is part of the Crestwood Drive Phase 3 reconstruction project. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us, coming up on 25 News now at 6. The Family Dollar store chain is fined millions of dollars by the federal government. Find out why after the break. Also ahead, we'll tell you what the Crossroads and the Chicago area have in common today. Is recalling about 381,000 Tacoma mid-size pickup trucks to fix potential problems with the vehicle's rear axles that can increase the risk of a crash. Toyota's fourth recall announcement in 6 days involves certain 2022 to 2023 Toyota Tacoma trucks sold in the United States. Owners of the recalled trucks will be notified through the mail by late April. Family Dollar stores fined the largest ever monetary criminal penalty by the Justice Department. The record fine, almost $42 million. The DOJ says it stems from unsanitary conditions discovered at one of the company's warehouses. The distribution center in Arkansas was infested with rodents. Food, drugs, cosmetics, and medical devices were all stored there. Those products were shipped to more than 400 Family Dollar stores in the Southeast. The high temperature in Victoria today was in the 80s. That's the same in Illinois, which is very unusual.
It feels like spring has sprung in the Chicago area. On the North Shore, the warm-up is making a big splash, one swimmer taking a morning dip in Lake Michigan. Many getting out and soaking up the sun on a day when temperatures could reach 80 degrees in some spots.
I think you just feel happy, especially whenever the sun is out. We had all of probably 3 weeks in January where we didn't see the sun.
John and Sandy Lyons brought their breakfast to Lakefront Park in Glencoe to enjoy the unseasonably warm weather.
I hope it stays here until June. This is just an amazing winter that we're having, and this weather in February has been perfect.
Just a few blocks away at Hometown Coffee and Juice, Lou Lubin opened up the windows for his customers, many eager to eat outdoors.
It's good for business. I've ever seen people want to get out. It's winter time and it's 50, 60, 70 degrees, so it makes it very, very busy.
Alex Nellison chose to sit outside with his wife, dressed in a pair of shorts.
We just dropped the kids off for school, and we're like, let's have a little morning brunch date together. So
Al fresco.
Al fresco, exactly. Can't beat this right now.
Meanwhile, everyone's bracing for a huge temperature drop in the next 24 hours. Tomorrow, the area could have wind chills in the single digits. And as a cold front swoops in, storms, strong winds, and hail could develop. But Sandy Lyons is tuning all that out.
I don't think we're going to have any more snow. And I'm not believing the hail they're talking about tonight either.
Yes, one man's misery is another man's happiness. So they're having a great time. For us, we did get up into the 80s. We had maybe 2-3 hours of sunshine, and then all the cloud deck got thick again. We'll have soupy weather overnight and fog tomorrow morning, but then cooler weather rolling in. It might actually get into the 60s in a couple days. We'll have all that coming up in a moment. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Looking at 74 current temperature right now. The winds are out of the south. They're a little breezier today. We did get up to 82 this afternoon. That's 10 above our seasonal average. Not quite the record, but that's okay. Lots of cloud cover, lots of humidity over the area, but the frontal system is on its way. Now, the frontal system is way up in Amarillo right about now. They are getting 58 mile-an-hour winds. That's almost 60. Blowing through the panhandle, and that is not helping the fire situation up there. There are, I would say, probably 20 or 30 different discrete wildfires that are all going to pile up, and this is kind of bad news for that area. You can see how the front has now dropped the temperatures up here. This is where the front is. This is going to be moving south, and it's going to be quite breezy not only in Amarillo, but all the way down to probably Big Spring and Midland, Odessa. Now, that front should pass through our area tomorrow about noontime. you'll know when it's here because when the big north wind blows in, and it's going to be rather breezy. Now, this is a little video of the fires that are going on, and the road that goes between Amarillo and Canadian you just can't travel. I mean, it's shut down because of the fire and the smoke and the fires jumping the freeway or the roadway. And so it's a big problem because nothing's greened up there yet. It's been very dry, and now you've got this amazing heat coming through. At least it's a little cooler, but that's not going to stop the wind from keeping the fires going. Now tonight, we're going to have the soupy weather again tomorrow morning. You can see how we get to about 2 o'clock in the morning. You're going to see, a half-mile visibility here and there. We get to 4 o'clock in the morning, still half miles pretty much in many places. And then as we get to sunrise, now here's the funny part. Here's the soupy weather at 6 a.m. Watch this. And all of a sudden, the north wind kicks in and visibility improves amazingly. We'll probably get lots of sun, not lots of sun, but certainly drier weather, clearing fog, and all that will be blowing away. So here's the temperatures. Watch this. I mean, tomorrow, we're 82 today, 69 tomorrow, 62 Thursday, then back up to 80 degrees as we get to the weekend. These are the high temperatures forecast for tomorrow, and you can see how North Texas has dropped about 30 degrees from the heat, and of course we're going to get some of that cooling as well, and at least Laredo won't be 98 degrees again. Here's our little front, blows through about midday tomorrow, and then that rain really is going to stay north of us. I doubt if we'll get anything out of this other than a big wind shift line. So let's take a look at your day planner for those of you in Port Lavaca. We start off cloudy and foggy, then we'll go gusty winds, and we'll see a little bit of sun in the afternoon. High temperature up only about 68, 70 degrees. In Cuero, we start off on the soupy side in the morning. North winds kick up. They'll be a little breezy, and we will get up to only about 66 degrees in the Cuero area as a high temperature. So windy and cooler for 2 days, and then warmer and a little sloppy Friday, up to 80 over the coming weekend, and then the next front comes in next Tuesday. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we've got a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Don, back to you.
Thank you, Mac, and Zach Brown has your sports.
Thank you, guys. East and West going at it on the soccer pitch, and then we've got some playoff basketball tonight. I'll have that coming up in sports. It is regional quarter day in boys hoops, and we have 2 area teams still going at it. We've got the Goliad Tigers and the Edna Cowboys. Goliad had a bus send-off earlier this afternoon as they get ready to take on Santa Gertrudis Academy Lions. The Lions, fresh off a dominant 20-point victory. Goliad with 30 wins on the year. They won 16 games last year, for reference, one of the many impressive turnarounds in this area. If they can pull out a win tonight, they will punch their ticket to the regional semis, which, according to my research, is something they have not done since the 2013-2014 season. So, according to my math, and I'm not that great at that, but that's been about a decade. The other game, Edna versus Cole. These teams very familiar with one another. Cole handed Edna a tough loss last year. Edna was only down a few points with less than 5 minutes remaining before they pulled away. The Cowboys hoping this year is a bit different, also trying to punch that ticket to the regional semifinals as well. This will be the third year in a row that these two teams have met in the playoffs. Cole won both of those games by double digits. It is the third time the charm for the Edna Cowboys. We have more all-district honors being handed out. The El Campo Rice Birds with a team full of mentions. We've got Oliver Miles, who is an excellent all-around athlete in every sport. He gets the first team all-district honors, as well as Ladarian Lewis, who just like Oliver will play Division I football. Then we had Jabari Foley named to the second team. They also had a few honorable mentions in Keyshawn Smith and Jansen Connor. That's an entire starting five getting some recognition. It is East versus West Soccer Day. The girls in action right now with the Lady Warriors trying to bounce back after a tough loss their last time out. Then we have the Lady Titans, who are just trying to finish the season strong. And after that, when the boys go at it, last time these two met, it was the Warriors who took the 2-0 victory. Victoria East fighting for a postseason spot, needing a big win tonight. They sit in 4th place with just 3 games left to go. Spring training is here, and we finally see the face of baseball in his new jersey. Of course, I'm talking about the $700 million man, Shohei Ohtani. In his first at-bat, well, it was a little underwhelming, to say the least. Struck out looking on a pitch right down the middle, but in the 5th inning, he does what he always does. He gets a hold of one, and he sends it out in his Dodger debut. He may hit a whole lot of those this year. He will only be hitting. He cannot pitch this season due to his elbow surgery. And if you guys care about spring training scores, the Houston Astros, big loss today, 10-3 to the Washington Nationals. So I don't know how deeply you guys look into that one. Don, do you pay attention to spring training at all when it comes to final scores and stuff like that?
No.
No, me neither.
No. If there's an injury, yes. No. Spring training.
I'm right there with you.
All right. Thank you, Zach. We're back in a moment. Students at a Virginia high school are taking part in NASA's Plant the Moon Challenge. Finally tonight, students at a Virginia high school are taking part in a new NASA program. It's called the Plant the Moon Challenge. Now, after applying with NASA, the students were sent everything they need to grow plants on the moon, including a bag of lunar soil. The students are growing green beans, Swiss chard, and a type of edible flower. They water the plants, measure how much each crop is grown, and test the moisture level in the soil. The students will continue to monitor their greenhouse, and the information they collect will be sent straight back to NASA. I wish we could have done that when we were in school, Mac. I mean, that would have been great. That would
You
have been
didn't
really...
grow you didn't sprout the bean sprouts?
No,
Oh,
no,
I
we
did
ate them in the cafeteria, but we didn't grow them.
Yeah, that was very good. Thing is, lunar soil has no plant ingredient, has no humus. So I wonder how anything can grow.
I don't know.
They've got to amend the soil. All the farmers know all about that. We'll be looking at cooler weather for the next day or so. Won't be in the 80s. Cold front comes in about noon tomorrow. It's going to have a gusty north wind behind it. You'll know it's here. And then it'll be a chilly day on Thursday, only a high of 62. But then as we get to the weekend, you can pull the shorts out and get the flip-flops. It'll be in the 80s for the weekend.
Welcome to our weather roller coaster once again. All right. Thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one, everybody.